The Khilji and the Tughlaq dynasties. Taxation in Doab. Muhammad bin Tughlaq realized the importance of a strong and powerful army to strengthen and secure the position of the ruler. To enhance his military resources, he needed additional revenue. The Ganga Yamuna Doab, the area between the Ganga and the Yamuna, was fertile region. The land tax in this area was increased. Unfortunately, the rains failed and a severe famine broke out. People refused to pay the enhanced taxes. But the tax collectors showed no mercy on them and continued to collect the taxes with such rigor that the peasants were ruined. To escape the tyranny of the tax collector, the peasants abandoned their lands and fled to the jungles. Realizing the gravity of the situation, Muhammad bin Tughlaq ordered relief measures such as free kitchens, loans to farmers, improved irrigation facilities, etc. However, the remedy came too late. The damage had already been done. Agriculture suffered a severe setback. Transfer of the capital. The next step taken by Muhammad bin Tughlaq was the transfer of the capital from Delhi to Devagiri, renamed as Daulatabad in the Deccan. Two major reasons prompted the Sultan to take this decision is central location and Mongol invasions. Central location. With the expansion of the Delhi Sultanate into the Deccan, Devagiri happened to be centrally located and nearly equidistant from Delhi and other important places in the Tughlaq Empire. Mongol invasions, repeated Mongol attacks posed a great threat to Delhi. Daulatabad, on the other hand, was at a safe distance from the invaders. According to a contemporary historian, Ibn Battuta, the Sultan ordered the transfer of the entire population instead of shifting only his court and his officials. Elaborate arrangements were made for the journey, which was for almost 1250 km from Delhi. A broad road was built with trees on both sides. Temporary huts were set up along the way and provisions were made for the supply of free food and drinks during the journey. However, journey was long and arduous. Many died on the way. The weary and homesick survivors could not adjust to the new and alien conditions of the new capital. Modern historians, however, do not accept the account of a mass exodus. According to them, Delhi was never depopulated because there is evidence to prove that construction work was carried out in Delhi during the period of transfer. In the absence of Sultan, Delhi was now exposed to renewed attacks by the Mongols. Realizing his folly, Muhammad bin Tughlaq shifted his capital back to Delhi after 2 years. The people were ordered to return. The suffering and mental agony caused great resentment. The experiment was a dismal failure. It had drained the treasury and reduced the grand and prosperous capital of Delhi to a mere shadow of its former self. Daulatabad, a monument of misdirected energy, became a deserted city. Token currency. The failure of the Sultan's schemes had led to a heavy drain on the royal treasury. Muhammad bin Tughlaq then decided to experiment with token currency in 1329 and 30. To tide over the financial crisis, copper coins having the same value as gold and silver coins were issued and people were ordered to use these token coins in all their transactions. However, Muhammad bin Tughlaq took no steps to ensure that the minting of coins was the monopoly of the government. Every house became a mint and people started making counterfeit coins. There were no arrangements to check the minting and circulation of fake coins. Foreign merchants refused to accept the token currency. Trade came to a standstill. Fake coins were used to pay taxes to the government. The economic system began to collapse. Muhammad bin Tughlaq had to withdraw the token currency. The idea of token currency was a progressive one, but it was far ahead of the times. It failed due to faulty execution. The government resources and the prestige of the Sultan suffered a serious blow. Results of these schemes. Muhammad bin Tughlaq's experiments and poorly executed schemes had exhausted the treasury and undermined the prestige and position of the Sultan. Revolts broke out in all parts of the Sultanate. The Rana of Mewar recovered Ranthambore and Chittor and built a powerful kingdom in Rajasthan. In the south, two new kingdoms were established, the Hindu Vijayanagar kingdom and the Muslim Bahmani kingdom. The Deccan and South India became independent once again. Bengal and Sindh also asserted their independence. Most historians have traced the failure of Muhammad bin Tughlaq's schemes to his character. He lacked practical sense and was a whimsical and unpredictable. Some historians have concluded that Muhammad bin Tughlaq was not personally responsible for his failure. His projects failed because of the conditions and prejudices of those times. People were backward and not receptive to new ideas and radical reforms. The ulema did not support his schemes because he did not allow them to influence the affairs of the state. When Muhammad died in 1351, after a reign or more than 25 years, the Sultanate was in a state of decay and disintegration.